Welcome to the podcast. I'm Rosa Coelho, your host, lifestyle entrepreneur, health coach, and speaker. I've gone from being in complete overwhelm, burning the candle at both ends, and watching my health, relationships, and business suffer, to creating a life with more joy, ease, and abundance. If you're ready to let go of the overwhelm, reclaim your health, and push past your comfort zone so that you can unleash your next level of success to create a greater impact, then sit back as we delve into conversations as well as bring on guests to share with you tools, knowledge, and real action steps to get you there. Listen in, because you never know when you may hear something that changes everything. Hello, beautiful friend. I hope you've had a fabulous week. All right, today we're getting right into it because I was having a chat with some ladies about the Simply Strong program. And one of them said to me, this was so interesting. One of them said to me, okay, Rosa, I really need to do your program. It's exactly what I need. But also on top of everything, I need you to yell at me. And I was like, kind of just looked, and she goes, no, like I need you to yell at me like every day so that I do what you tell me to do. And I was like, ooh, yikes. I was like, well, probably not the program for you then. Look, gone are those Biggest Loser Jillian Michaels days. And I'm sure most of you remember that show that was on the program with people that had lots of weight to lose, and Jillian Michaels and usually one other trainer would just be like yelling at them and pushing them so hard and telling them off when they didn't keep to their nutrition plan and telling them how, I don't know, all the things. And I watched it all the time. I loved it. And Jillian Michaels has actually come onto a podcast recently saying how like she's really regretful of that time, and she wouldn't do it again. And you know, here's the thing, like you just do the best you can with what you know at the time. And that was that kind of era. And so I don't blame her for that, because again, she's grown as a person and wouldn't do it now, but it was a sign of the times. And it's just so negative and so not helpful. And most of those contestants ended up putting the weight back on, because that is just not an approach that is successful. And I want to share a story that's like a little bit embarrassing on my end too, because when I became a trainer, I joined like this private studio in central London. It was Dax Moyes, just an amazing place to work. But again, it was a different time too. And I remember we were coached in our orientations, like when we had a new client come on board, that when we had that initial like first session with them, that we had to ask them all these questions and peeling back the onion and showing them tough love. And I remember I had this woman come in, and she just had twins, and I think she might have even had another little one at home. And I was doing the whole peel back the onion, and I remember at one point, like, I don't even remember what I said. I know it wasn't probably nice or sensitive, and she cried in my session. And I remember that's what we were trained to do. They said, if your client cries, then you know you've gotten to them, you know you've made it happen, and it will, you know, you've dug deep and it'll work for them. And I was like, but something didn't feel right for me. So I did train with her, but she was the one client that I didn't enjoy training. I always felt like that there was this awkwardness in us, and yeah, it was just weird. And I remember thinking, I am never doing that again. Like, I am just not doing that again. It's very different if you're having an authentic conversation with someone and the tears roll, but not because of something horrible that you're saying. And I was actually able to mend that years later. I received an email from her, and she was asking for advice or joining a program or something. I can't even quite remember exactly what it was, but she did reach out. And I remember I apologized to her, and I said to her, like, I'm so sorry. Like, that was just, I was doing what I was trained to do, and I never did it again. And I just always felt terrible about that, especially because you just had these like babies, and you must have been going through so much, going back to work and all the things. And I was like, oh, so it was nice. And she ended up training, because I was back in Canada by then. She ended up training with a really good friend friend of mine who got her beautiful results, and she just had such a more positive experience in the world of, getting fit and healthy. And I loved it. I was able to correct that because we don't always get that chance back. But, it was a really good lesson for me to step into my authenticity and to decide what kind of a trainer I wanted to be and how I really wanted to make an impact. And so, that is not going to be me. I'm not going to be yelling at anyone or making anyone feel horrible or guilty or anything. It's not how I work. And apart from that one terrible experience, I've never gone down that road again. I really believe in inspiring women, but more than inspiring, because inspirational can be a little bit fleeting. I think it's great to get motivation going, but more importantly is educating. Because my background is as a teacher, and I know for myself, when we learn why what we're doing works and how it can impact our lives down the road and the ripple effect of it all and all the things like that is what takes a 6-week program and turns it into long-term success and long-term habits, because you can't unlearn what you've learned. And that's empowering. And so in Simply Strong, yes, it's a 6-week program, but it's also disguised as a course. The idea is that, yes, you are doing the work throughout the 6 weeks and you will gain results, and you go from being stuck with your weight to actually shifting the weight and also becoming stronger and more vibrant. But you're learning because there's 6 master classes within the coursework, because I don't want people just to follow along and then not understand, because that does not create empowering or long-term change. And so that's exactly why I have made it that way. If you are looking at training with anyone, it doesn't have to be with me at all. Just look for people that are like gatekeepers. They give you just enough information, but they don't want to tell you the whole reason. Like, they don't want to tell you how they put together a plan or why the plan works. Look to really learn. The other thing with the program is I received a message from one of the ladies that have gone on to, they've done the Simply Strong program, but they've also done Simply Stronger. And one thing that they said is how much they appreciated that the price wasn't astronomical, because it's true. I can turn that 6-week program into a very high ticket item. I have the testimonials now. I know it works. I know it's solid. I love it. I just see the transformation, and I know that the value of the program. But again, that doesn't feel authentic to me. I want to be able to reach a lot of women. So it means that I, on my part, just need to put more effort into marketing to build the same income that I would if I were to do it with fewer people at a much higher ticket item. But I really want to help as many women as possible. And so that is very important to me, to keep the price point at a point that is affordable for women. And the other thing with the 6-week program is that I have the women stay in the program as long as they want. Look, for some people, you can do something for 6 weeks, get results, get it, you're off to the marches. It all just depends. Is that even a term? Is that even a saying? I don't know. But it's enough. It depends where your starting point is. Other people, like I have someone who has done the program 3 times now, and really on this 3rd time, it is clicking for them and they're getting amazing results. And it's like, all of a sudden, like they get it, but it's been for them, the habit stacking is what has worked. It's been like doing one thing well and then adding another thing, and it's just taken a little longer. And so I don't take people out of the course or out of the program. The only thing that they will miss by repeating it is that I don't do personalized one-to-ones, but I still answer questions in the group, and I still do live calls every Saturday or Sunday, depending on my schedule, but I always answer questions on a live video as well. And so there's still all that value there, apart from like the one-to-one personalized. And so it's very possible for people to repeat it. And then when they're like, I've got this, but I want something more intense, then those women can do the Simply Stronger, which is a little bit more intense, but by then you have that solid foundation. So yeah, I wanted to share that. If you feel like, if you've heard yourself saying, I just need someone to be accountable to, I need someone to tell me what to do every single second of the day, I need someone yelling at me, I need someone doing this and this, ask yourself why that is. Like, I am there to hold people accountable and to, be on top of it and set like little reminders here and there for sure. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we all could do with that, especially at the beginning. But at some point there needs to be that transition where you're just doing this innately for yourself. And so, yeah, gone are those biggest loser days. I always say, we should be calling these biggest winner days. Like we have this thing in Simply Strong where it's called Winning Wednesday. So every Wednesday people post their wins. Like it could be, and someone put like, oh, I actually had like my first perfect day of hitting all my macros within 10 grams, because we don't do perfection, but within 10 grams is solid effort. It's wonderful. Or I got to my protein goal 4 times this week. Like last week, I only got there once. And so we celebrate these wins because we know that little wins over time, it's the compound effect. The compound effect it works. And I don't know if you've ever read that book. It's actually called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's a powerful book. It was a real game changer for me in life, like not just when it comes to health and weight loss or anything like that, but just wanting to achieve any goal. And within that book, he's got this story, and I'll probably get it wrong because I've read it so long ago, but the idea will be correct. And the idea is that there was these 2 men. They didn't know each other. It's just 2 separate stories. And one started walking, I don't know how far every day, whatever, but that became a daily habit. And slowly, like over 6 months to a year, he lost like 10, 15 pounds, and he felt better about himself. He felt more confident. He had more energy. He was able to have more time with his family, do more things with them, and life felt grand. The other guy started baking for his family, and that meant everyone started eating just like a tad more sugar. Slowly, he put on some weight, 10 to 15 pounds, started feeling tired, started watching more TV, spent less time with being present and less time with family, and like ended up, I think, if I'm not being extreme, I think it ended up in divorce. But anyways, the point of the story was how, sorry, my phone just went off. I usually have that thing on silent. But the point of the story is that these like small little things that we do over time do make a real difference. And so that's why I allow people to do the program more than once, because I realize that everyone is slightly different. And sometimes it just takes being able to compound those simple habits over time to make amazing progress. Okay, friends, so that's all I wanted to talk about this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I have some really incredible, fabulous interviews coming up. I can't wait to share them with you. Oh my goodness. And just an FYI, the last day to sign up for Simply Strong before summer is June 17th. And then I take a break all of August, and then the program will only be available again come early September. Okay, have a fabulous week.
Thank you so much for listening in today. I know time is precious, and I'm grateful you shared yours with me. It would mean the world to me if you felt an impact, a moment of inspiration, or learned something new, if you would share it with those you care about and leave me a review on iTunes. I'd love to know what spoke to you or what you'd like to hear more of. Your sharing and leaving a review would help so much on this journey to making an impact on as many people as possible. It's worth it. I know from experience, there are moments when something we hear has the possibility of changing everything.